Hey everybody, this is Todd and TJ back for episode number 4 of Roe Knows Best. This episode we thought we might talk about, did we make life better or just more complicated with technology? And I know we discussed on AI, one of our first episodes, that was AI. This one's more about just technology in general. And we want to keep this conversation, with what I think everybody's going to relate to. So, TJ, I've been thinking life is obviously easier in a lot of ways now, but I don't know if we're actually happier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I got that makes sense. Yeah. I think it's like you said, right? We talked about AI before, but that's just the hot topic right now. There's so many things different. And I even catch myself like I know you don't have like an iPhone, but like I get every
Fuck
Sunday,
no.
I get a screen
I'm
time and everything,
Samsung, man. I want that out there
Yeah.
right now, and I will
Yeah.
stay. Dude, there's more Asians in this country than there, or in this world, than anything else, and they all have Samsung. So we have more Samsungs than iPhones. I mean, look
Yeah.
at the stats.
No, that's fair, I guess. And in that argument, I guess the Muslims are winning too. No, I'm kidding. But no. So
It's
but
not funny.
no, but no, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I mean, I get a screen time though and everything, and I try to
Yeah.
keep my hours as low as possible because I'm somebody I can sit on the couch and I'll just get lost in YouTube or Reels or I don't even allow myself to have TikTok anymore because I'm so bad about it.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I have to discipline myself, but like laying in bed,
Hmm.
go to bed at 10 o'clock, 10:30, and you look over and it's 11:45,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, it's bad
yeah.
bad
Or it's
business.
3 in the morning.
Um,
So.
but it's so available now,
Hmm.
and what I thought we'd do is for topic one, um, being reachable at all times is something completely. Well, it's almost it's demanded now.
Hmm.
Even in people like my age that have grown up without it. It wasn't that long ago where you didn't check in. If you
Hmm.
had a cell phone, great, but you didn't check in. You weren't monitored. You weren't Life 360.
Hmm.
You know, um, now it's like in the dating world. It's when I first started dating my wife, the cell phone. We didn't have Life 360, but not answering the cell phone was a big deal. And
Hmm.
now you have Life 360, and like some of the chat apps have that same
Yeah.
crap, don't they?
Oh yes, now
Like
like
Snap
Snapchat
Twitter or
has like
whatever. Yeah.
Snap Maps and everything, and then I don't think Facebook or Instagram have, but you can like you can ping and check in and do different update where you're at. But
But is there
I
still the pressure, like in your generation, to respond quickly, or
yeah, I
to?
mean like I'm gonna get married in less than 2 weeks. I've been out of the game for a long time, but just thinking about just stuff like that, and everything. Like, I didn't know any different. Like the second we started, talking to females,
Right.
it was Snapchat right away, right, and everything, and
Well, that's don't the kids say? Don't you guys say I got their Snap? And that's like
mhm. To getting the
we'd be
number
like
back in the day.
I got their phone number, and
Yeah,
usually had to talk to their dad
yeah,
or their
hmm,
mom to get them to answer, and
yeah,
then it was a
hmm,
corded phone, so you sat in the kitchen,
hmm,
and yeah, phone
yeah,
calls were usually just meet me here this day,
hmm,
talk to you later, bye.
yeah, hmm. But like, the one thing that like I think more about is like even though right, I'm only 24, I'm young, but with work it's very easy to like get like or even for you, right? I mean at all time of the day something can happen, they can send you an email and they
Right,
can
right,
and somebody like
right.
me, the second I see it I'm gonna want to go do it. Like I've had to learn to like when I leave, that's why I used to leave my computer at work, even
Yeah,
though it didn't. I mean, I had Outlook on my phone, I had
right,
all that
right.
Teams, everything, but setting boundaries because it's just the age of it right now. You
Yeah.
know, we can
Well,
send
like
you.
so, you like your generation, dude. They're almost disgusted if you call them.
Hmm.
They're and it's mine too. We've morphed into the same thing. Like, why the
Hmm.
fuck are they calling me?
Yeah.
Text me,
Hmm.
or text. Text is taken. Calling in sick, text them.
Yeah.
You got a confrontation, text because you're always tougher through text, you know.
Yeah,
And
keyboard
I've
warrior.
had discussions clear back in the day, you know, when you lived here. There's certain things you don't text me, and I think you've adopted a
Yeah.
lot of those, you know. There's one word answers or something that drive me crazy because
Yeah.
I take them as you're an asshole,
Yeah.
even if they weren't intended that way. And now, you know, text is pretty much evolved to just eliminate the straightforward phone call, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk to each other all the time, but like if I would, like when I call Ashley or you know, or call anybody, it's like, why is your dad calling me? You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
And I think that's weird.
Yeah.
I think it's
mean,
weird.
I'd even go to like as far. I mean, it's like right. I can't say I'm bad at it. I grew up with it and everything, you know. So I'm not bad at it, but like I'm bad about like you know, I still call. I still do, you know, like if I'm going somewhere, just call them real quick. Like it's immediate and everything and all that stuff.
Yep,
Or
it's over.
go down, you know, go down the hall and I just ask a question directly and everything, you know, and all that stuff. It's just, or like I'm really bad about like I deleted Snapchat just to the extent of like I just was. One, I thought it was a dumb app. I just was tired of it and everything, you know. But
Well, now, like, you know, your younger brother Tyler's, it's a requirement.
yeah,
You know,
well, it even was
a
when I was in
requirement.
high school. Like, if you didn't have, you know, nobody texted each other, you know, and all that stuff.
and
Like,
that's weird to me. Isn't Snapchat just texting? With
yeah,
a
so
picture?
you can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of leads us into our second topic. You know, did social media ruin like hanging out and the social aspect of being social? Because, you know, we used to check in with each other, set up times to meet, and now everything, even when the guys game, it's, you know, staying the night at a friend's house isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you used to go stay at Logan's or stay at whoever's. That was the plan. Now,
Yeah.
now it's if they do stay the night, they all have their own TV in their own room, and
Yeah.
all they care is the Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah. No, I think more for like I feel like it dilutes it and everything, you know. So like, right, you know, when Ash and I started talking, I made a point of we didn't text throughout the day. I would text her, hey, when we're gonna hang out, when I'll pick you up, or what we're doing, and then that was it. Because then when I got to see her, you know, we had conversation. It wasn't, you know, all day we were texting.
Right.
How was your day? How was your morning? How'd you sleep? As
But
you
I
know, things
think
were happening,
that,
you're updating and everything. You know, I feel like it just
yeah.
dilutes it, in my opinion.
But I mean, I think you're the exception there because your generation isn't that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you've probably seen your buddies have the same issues, right?
Yeah.
The-
Oh yeah.
I mean, I love your oldest brother Eric to death, but that man needs his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, period.
Yeah.
Period.
And there's so many
But
people in my age that just, you know, like I'm back. Like, I'm a huge. I set my phone down and everything, you know, and I just like I don't unless I need it and everything, you know. But like I know people my age that like they can't. Like you just said, Eric, you know, and all that stuff. But like they don't leave without it. It's the first thing that, you know. Like people used to put their wallet and their keys, you know. Now
yeah,
it's phone, wallet, and then
yeah, no,
you know.
I'm notorious, and those that know me know me well. I'm terrible about answering my phone because I purposely don't have it near me. You know, there's a time and a place where I want it, and so I keep it around me. But it confuses. I wouldn't say it confuses, but it causes some issues because, you know, Lisa, my own wife, she'll call Tyler to get a hold of me because I won't
Yeah.
answer my phone. You know,
Yeah.
so
Honestly,
that's
my
just the
friends
life
even
I
know
choose to live.
to get. Or some of my friends have just started texting Ashley. You know, if they need something for, you know, like Love It was even like I text Ashley if I need a prompt response, or I'll wait, you know, for the 2 business days for TJ to get back to me.
So do you think it's a problem that because of social media, society's less social in person?
Yeah, I think. I mean, and
It
there's
can't be
even
fake.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Well, no. So I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if people, right, like if they look good on if I look good on social media, whether that's financial, aesthetics, whatever it is, and everything, you know, to them it's like that's a facade they can put on and they can seem
Yeah.
put together and everything, you know, and then they might even go out and act like that's what their life is and everything, you know, but then you start ripping back layers of that onion and you're like, oh no, okay. On the
Full on
outside,
piece
you
of
know,
shit.
yeah, this is a bad person or
Yeah.
bad couple or, you know.
I just want everybody out there in internet land to know this is as good as I look ever. So none of this is fake or filtered.
Yeah,
It's all
all
raw.
natural, no Photoshop.
Yeah. We had another topic of talk about how social media is in school, but I think this kind of pulls away from what we're actually talking about. Um, I mean, that's definitely a topic for another day. But what did get better, you think, as far with the phones being the way they are and the access to things that people have now?
I mean, I
In your
think,
opinion?
like, even though we just talked about it, I do think, like, it's made communication, and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can work from home. You're a full on
Yeah.
professional at your own,
Yeah.
home office and everything. Before that just flat out wasn't an option.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
then like also, like you and I, we live an hour apart and everything. It allows us to, stay in touch. It's not, the
Bullshit.
carrier
Yeah.
pigeon you used to get or word of mouth and everything. Now I do think there's a great thing of connection and also like a networking thing. You can meet people, you can do things, you can be in these communities of like-minded individuals
Yeah.
and kind of surround yourself with, way easier than it
Well,
was before.
I see like GPS is huge. You can pretty much, back in my day when I was doing my internship, before I would leave somewhere, I would print off. They had things. It's called Microsoft Streets, and it was a CD that you updated every year, but it had all the streets, and you would print off your route, and then you would have this, clipboard, and that's how you found your no turn right here. You just followed your clipboard route, and
Yeah.
now you can just plug it into your phone and go anywhere. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the 360 with having loved ones be able to know where you are. It's the 360 is the best thing ever happened in my marriage. I'm telling you that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Just because I never answered my phone for whatever reason, for whatever I had going on, but 360 kept me safe. And
Yeah.
when I say safe, it did piss my wife off, which
Yeah.
was a win,
Yeah.
very big win.
Yeah.
And like my monitor for
Yeah.
my diabetes,
Oh yeah.
you
No.
know,
And
talking to my phone gives me warnings, my sugar
Yeah.
goes up or down. So there's huge things like that. But
Yeah.
communication, medical, I see it. I
What was it?
definitely
And
see
like
it.
we weren't able, it was topic 3 that we kind of glazed over, but we can kind of wrap it into this. But like I just see here, right? Access to information. That's we talk about in school, right? I think we made a joke a couple episodes ago. Writing a paper back then, I would flat out wouldn't. I mean, on everything compared to now,
Well, we plagiarized the shit
Yeah.
out of things.
Oh, and there's now people just AI the shit out of things.
Well,
but,
we did it then. It's just
yeah.
no teacher's gonna go grab the encyclopedia.
Yeah, they didn't
as long
have
as you didn't make it
software that
sound like
dinged
an
it.
encyclopedia entry.
Yeah. But like, or and it's kind of like, I don't know what the actual term is here, but it's like a good and bad thing, right? But everybody, thinks that you just can know a lot more. If you have a question about something, you don't have to sit back and critically, you can
Right.
literally type it in and get the answer. But at the same time, if you're not an expert on something, it can make somebody seem like they are.
Yeah.
And
It's also too, like in the engineering world that I deal with daily is that you're right. Information is readily available. But there's still some very stupid people getting their information and taking face value on the first thing they read, not asking questions, not and then delivering that to you like, here you go, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Look, I proved you wrong. He's like, well, where'd you find that? Well, it was, I don't know. Where's
yeah.
the site? And,
Yeah.
bullshit.com.
Yeah. No, I still think experts, non-experts will get exposed. Like I even think of like it more in my realm of, people get like I need to eat 2 grams of protein a day and everything, and it's like, no, you don't. You're gonna shit out so much of that and everything. Or it's like I'm doing 1,000 crunches to spot reduce fat. It's like, why? It's dumb. It's not. It's just things like that. That's why I think it's a good example of both your kind of thing or your field and like my area and everything.
Yeah.
It's a great thing because it can save you a lot, But at the same
Yeah.
time, people think they're wizards
I
all
don't
of a
know.
sudden.
Like, there's this. If I did 1,000 crunches, TJ, I wouldn't be able to get up the next day.
I
If
couldn't do
could
1,000
that.
crunches right now. My core would be so sore I wouldn't even be able to laugh. But like it's just
I just
it's
cut you on the ground after 25.
but like at the same time, like it's just like and people you see all the time now. It's then social media pumps it out, and you I read this article. I'm never eating a blueberry again because blueberries are going to cause cancer. It's like, tell me the person that got blueberry cancer, and let me know how bad their life is right now. And everything. Like, it's just, while it's a great thing, it can
in
be
the
a bad
construction
thing.
industry, it's the same damn thing because, there used to be treated arsenic, treated lumber for decks, and they were treated with arsenic, and they were awesome. Contractors loved them. They last for long times. They were ground grade. You could put, all this kind of stuff, all the stuff that you have to pay extra for now. Well, unfortunately, and I wish no harm on anybody, but a very weak immune system child died because of the arsenic in it and got arsenic poisoning. You would have to eat a tube of 12, 8 foot long to get enough arsenic out of it to kill you. But this kid died from it. And so it changed the laws, it changed the rules. And now, the treated industry is a whole nother game of material that won't kill you. But yeah, everything will kill you.
Well, no, and like the
Like I
arsenic
said
thing.
a few episodes ago, until they start suing and winning McDonald's for feeding people chicken nuggets, then they need to back off some of the practical things that are out there.
Well, I saw a thing today. It was talking about, apparently Taco Bell had like millions or thousands of pounds of meat called back because there was tracings of metal, and this guy like had stitched the video, and he goes, "I don't care.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that ain't gonna. It could be 50% metal. I hammered 6 tacos from Taco Bell today." But no, and this also, I gotta ask you this. So we were hanging out on Monday night and everything after the volleyball tournament. Yeah. What is the true dimensions of a finished 2x4?
3.5 by 1.5.
Yeah, see, and Jenna, and everything, you obviously know me, I'm handier than shit and everything,
Yeah.
She said, what are the true dimensions of a 2x4? And I was like, do you want to ask me again, but fucking slower? 2 inches by 4. And she's like, no, it's an inch. I was like, then why the fuck do they call it 2x4s? And she's like explaining, well, rough and, if it's like inside the walls, they doesn't need to be seen.
No, she's wrong too.
But either, I don't know.
When they mill it.
That's why it comes down. Yeah.
2x4, and then when they kiln dry it, that's how much it shrinks. And then they go through and they true it up. So when they mill it, they mill a true 2x4. And then when they kiln dry it, it shrinks it down, and then they run it through saws to give it true dimension of the 1.5 by, because it might be 1.5 by 3 3/4. So they'll shave that edge off so there's consistency. But yeah, no, it's called nominal dimension and regular dimension and nominal dimension. What's the nominal width of a 2x4? 3.5 by 1.5. Yeah. It's,
the more you know.
There you go. The more you know.
She said she's like 80% of men should know that answer, and so we called a bunch. That's why I called you late at night.
Oh,
because I knew you. Well, you didn't answer. No, I knew you'd know.
Sorry.
But
oh yeah.
I was like, that's a wild claim to think that 80% of men do, because right now we're batting 2 for 6.
Well, okay. So what pool are you testing from here? I mean.
Actual blue collar men, sissies like me,
But if you test my friend group, we're 10 for 10.
Yeah.
You test your friend group, I get it. Maybe 3 of you might know.
That's fucking wild. You think 3 of them would know that?
I can't. I mean, I'm sitting a little shocked that you don't fucking know that, but.
No, why would I? Why? See, here's the thing, and then we can get into the argument
your DNA,
of this.
TJ.
It made weak traces. I mean, it didn't get to me, but
no,
why? It just seems to me like they went through so much more. But granted, I get it. 1.5 by 3/4 doesn't roll off the tongue. 2x4 does.
Right.
But
it's easy to add up.
Yeah.
2x4. So here's another little interesting factoid you can take to your brunch.
Mm-hmm.
So when you buy 2x4s, you buy them in board feet, and then 2x4 actually is how you purchase a 2x4.
So what is a board feet?
Board foot. So it's a cubic measurement. So height by width by length.
So okay. So
board foot.
And so
a foot by foot by foot is a board foot.
Okay, so
Yeah.
when you explain you buy 2x4s by the board feet.
Yeah. So if you took like I got my calculator, 2 divided by 12, so 1.16, and 4 divided by 12, so that's 0.33
Hmm.
times 0.16 times 8 foot long. That 2x4 is 0.42 board feet. That's how you would purchase it. But don't think of it, they don't buy one 2x4. You buy a 2x4 in like it might be 3 foot wide by 4 foot tall bunk, and then you buy the board feet inside that bunk. So it could be 2x12s, 2x4s, 2x6s. It's the 3x4 by 8 foot bunk, and you buy the board foot in there. But you sell them by one, they're only 1.5 by 3.5, so you're actually paying for more board than you're getting. That's one of the biggest. You get it? You're glazing over on me here.
Yeah, I'm trying. No, so I'm all I can think about the whole time is when I called Radley to ask him. His first answer was, "I paid attention in school to pay people to know that for me."
Well, kiss my ass. I'm educated.
Yeah, I know, but that's all I was just like yeah, you seen
Yeah.
that Nate Bargatze thing talking about, my wife's the man of the house and everything and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's the water heater? And he's like, we don't have one, and we would like to purchase one today.
Today.
So go out to your van and bring one
Yep.
in for
Go
us.
take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but there's all kinds of things, and there's guys, in my friend group and the people I know and talk to, that we know all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just guy talk.
Yeah. No, I'm not enough of it. I mean, I get numbers and math. It's just, I didn't realize that
No,
there was.
it would be easy if
Yeah.
you saw how simple it was. But
Yeah. But I can't say, I've never bought a 2x4 in my life, so.
well, yeah, you'll need to someday. You
Yeah.
did find it. You did borrow a stud finder.
Yeah.
How
I did
many
do
times
that.
did you play a joke on your wife going, thing keeps going crazy every time I get near it?
Yeah, no, I did it the first when I brought it in. They were like, Scott's like, you make sure it works, and I was like, beep, yeah, it does.
Yeah, I think everybody's used that one a few
Yeah.
times. Last thing, not before we get into a little more fun, but what did get worse with the technology and social media being so present in our life?
I think it just, like I said, I think it just overall it dilutes social interaction, and everything. I
Yeah,
don't necessarily think it just absolutely murdered it and everything, but it's if you don't want to be in front of somebody, you don't have to be. If you want to put on a show
yeah,
and make everything look like it's just,
yeah.
amazing, you can.
Monet. But I
Yeah.
think, Chat GPT gave us a couple bullet points I like work life and life imbalance. Politics is everywhere now. Like, you're not allowed to have an opinion,
Yeah. Well, or you're
because
constantly fed, like either one side
yeah,
or the other, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
whether
You
you're
don't
left or
know,
right wing. I mean, you're
right?
getting,
Yeah, yeah.
but
But outrage culture, that was one that you can stir up the base. That's
yeah,
for damn sure.
yeah,
So, um, let's see here. What would confuse someone from? Yeah, this one's, I don't know. In full disclosure, we try to come up with some kind of outline so we have a flow to everything, and some of this stuff, I left it on there for you to look at. I mean, it can be pretty funny.
yeah.
The one I thought that was really funny is, with advances in technology and the social media, is the monthly fees that you pay
Oh
and
yeah,
you forget about, and you're on your. But what the hell is
subscriptions.
$3.99 from
Yeah,
Google coming out for?
yeah.
And I thought that was pretty funny. But the one thing I do think I want to go back to this because I meant to touch on it earlier. One huge negative is the iPads becoming babysitters for the youth.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible. It is terrible what's happening. There's kids that can't even they can't function without them. Even daycare age to clear
Yeah.
up to now. I force Tyler, your younger brother, and he's pretty good about it, but I force him to get off his at times. When you
Yeah.
know my rule about being in the truck,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, phones go on the console or
Yeah.
wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to do that with Tyler too
Yeah.
because it's just like an addiction for him.
Yeah.
And I see it with all kinds of youth,
Yeah.
even my granddaughters,
Yeah.
and both
No,
their mothers
now,
and
yeah.
fathers do great about keeping that restricted, but they want it. They
Yeah.
want it right in front of them, and they'll sit in front of it all day if you let them.
And it's
that's
built to keep
dangerous.
them on it too, you know.
Yeah, I mean the people that making that stuff. Yeah, that's this is completely out of right field, but that's one subject I want to talk about here is your knowledge on food, and the money and the advertising that people spend on that. We're gonna make that an episode one of these days.
Yeah, I can talk about things that we've
Give you a
talked.
platform, and that way
Yeah.
you can maybe regain some ground on the whole two before tobacco.
Yeah, yeah, or my street cred. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's kind of wild when you like look at just certain things and all that. I mean, obviously, well, that's a whole. This could turn into an hour and a half episode, but
yeah.
no, it's wild what goes
Yeah.
into it and
So
everything.
for our last section, I like doing that. You kind of started at that quick fire thing, and basically, what I want to think about here is how our social lives has changed because of technology, and then some arguments over like between your generation and my generation. Out of a cannon here, who has better music? I have an
still think,
argument here.
So you'd asked me this 3-4 years ago, I would have said our generation. But as I've gotten older, like technology's made it so easy to be called an artist. Every single girl that blew up on TikTok has a song out there. They tried doing the singing thing and everything, you
Yeah.
know. You can make some squalor and owls sound pretty good with the technology we have.
Owl.
But, I think as far as like I think there's some really good artists that you still put today that you put them back,
Yeah.
they would still be great artists, but I think overall
There's a
back
lot of
then.
them, man. There's
Yeah.
a lot of them. Better movies, I think that's a given. I think the technology is.
Oh god, they're gonna say
improved.
back. I was like, you ever
What?
seen the first Jaws? Like that.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, interesting factoid. The original Jaws, the movie, that mechanical, very, very poorly cinematic
Yeah.
mechanical fish. I got to see that. I was in grade school, and we got to go down, and it pulled off the interstate, and they were retarping it, and it fit on a semi trailer,
Yeah,
and we got to see the actual Jaws from the movie.
that's kind of cool.
Stick that in your fucking pipe,
Yeah.
and smoke it. Yeah. Some of these are just doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. Our generation-wise work ethic. I don't know. I've seen how hard you work through school, and some of the people that I know you went to school with. I think it's work ethic from generation. I think it's who you look at, because there are some fucking pieces of shit from my generation.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. I think
But I
it's,
think that's every generation.
I think
mean-
that's more of a nature versus nurture argument, and everything.
Yeah. I don't know when there was a time where homeless people wore suits, man. So,
Yeah.
that was a whole different beast. They're willing
Yeah.
to work. But yeah, the fire direct question thing. Maybe we'll do something better next time. But these just don't kind of fall in the stress levels. I think social media adds a shit ton of stress.
Yeah.
And but I guess to wrap things up. How do you figure, did life get easier or more complex with the social media? And is there enough betterment in it to say that times are better than they used to be? Or do you think
Yeah.
the simplicity of how it used to be needs to where things need to go back to?
No, I think there's maybe values or themes that I think, that need to carry on that, like I said, either went away or have made more, but it's the same thing, right? We talked about this a long time ago. AI will never be human, and AI, even though it's made leaps and bounds, is still not a human brain.
Right.
And, and no matter what, like, are there some jobs and everything, that should be shitting their pants, right? But the same thing, think back to years ago, right? It was, they always make the joke, you served in the war, you came back, you worked at the same factory, you had perfect attendance for 40 years, and then you retired and you're going to be on Social Security, then you're going to die, right? And then when they made the first robot, all those guys fucking sucked up their buttholes. Were like, dude, we need to lock it in, right, and everything, And then now and this is a slant. I gave Lovett some shit and everything, but I was like, accountants should be shitting themselves right now and everything, and all that stuff. It's like you give a calculator some AI programming, but then I even slammed myself,
man.
I even slammed myself. I was like, why pay me to build a program for you when you can probably go out and get something that honestly will work?
Yeah.
It's just, but it will never beat humans.
No, and their accountability is where lawsuits come from.
Yeah.
And there'll be AI lawsuits out there, and there probably already is.
Yeah.
So,
I think your generation, I think AI might be like your internet, and everything. This is just the next step of the internet, I don't know.
Yep, and it's for porn.
Yeah, all of it's about porn.
But relationship tip of the day before we leave you is if your spouse says, do whatever you want, that is not permission. That is a trap set with professional experience.
Yeah. No, walk on eggshells.
Yeah, do whatever you want means stay home, and whatever you want it to do, don't.
Yeah, like a contract, read the fine print.
Oh, there's some good ones. But well, thanks for hanging out with me, TJ, and everybody that's going to listen to this. Granted, it'll be released for you on Wednesday. That'll be tomorrow. We'll put it out there. I know TJ's big day's coming up here, 2 weeks away, pretty much. I mean,
11 days.
Yeah. So we definitely will record another episode next week. But the week of your bachelor party, your honeymoon, we might come up with something else. Maybe Tyler and I can jump on here and talk.
Yeah.
But any last words? Any last advice for the week, TJ?
No. Move forward and prosper. Yeah. Thanks for listening to us.
Yeah. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Bye.